Hello everyone, I'm getting ready for a ride. Yes, the English weather did not disappoint today either. Grey sky, drizzly, a bit wet, but let's go out and enjoy our ride. It's getting all wet. Let's go back inside. Today, as you noticed, I want to talk about motivation, and I wanted to give you a glimpse of what sometimes might happen when the conditions for the ride are not perfect and we might feel not really great to go out and ride. Doesn't happen to me, of course. My strong will, well, I wish. I wanted to analyze what is actually making us going or not going. I wanted to see in details what might help to enjoy even a bit more cycling outdoors, especially when it's not great weather, raining, cold, and let's see what elements we can put together to boost our cycling enjoyment. I'm lucky, I have to say. I'm still newish to cycling, not even 2 years, and I'm still in that phase where you really enjoy going out. And because I commute every day, I force myself a little bit more to ride as much as possible going to work, and also try to find the time to do longer rides outside the cycling commute. It would be good to actually analyze myself, or over-analyze myself as I usually do, to really see what are the common elements that all put together make me out and go out and riding. On the contrary, I wanted to ask my wife, as complete opposite to someone that doesn't really want to go out and ride. We bought her a bicycle, but she doesn't really feel engaged to cycle, to see on the other hand what are the negatives and the element that actually win in not making you go out and ride. And I wanted to ask her. She said something about go duck away, or yourself, or duck off. I don't know what the animal really relates to this stuff, but anyway, she's not available to give her interpretation of the cycling motivation, so I will carry on with my own list. First of all, it does really help if you already have someone who's more experienced than you and can give you guidance. I do have my friend Jeffrey, especially for commuting. He was my really big inspiration. He rides to London as well for the commute on the bike, and he rides whatever the weather, and I really admired his conviction and determination, and I always look at him and try to do myself as well. Ride whatever the weather, unless it's plainly dangerous and like extremely windy and stormy weather or icy condition, then I won't ride. Apart from that, you try to really push yourself hard and go out as well in even the foul weather. And that links me to the second point that works extremely well for me, because when I go out and riding, I really change into character. For me, dressing up for the ride, wearing riding clothes and appropriate for the conditions, it's almost like a game that I enjoy so much that sometimes I don't know whether I'm going out because I like riding or because I like to match the kit and dress up. So I know that it might sound strange, but that works really well. So when you decide to go out, it does really help really impersonating yourself in your cyclist character, and at the same time it would be much better being perfectly suited to the outdoor conditions, in not feeling cold or having the correct gear for the wet riding, making sure that, for example, you got the gaiters over your overshoes, so you won't have that annoying sensation of riding with wet foot, which is the worst. That kind of element in being prepared for the ride will also help your motivation, because out there you will enjoy riding, and whatever the condition, more or less we can adjust, and the whole experience is going to be a lot more enjoyable. Then after looking after what we are wearing, then we are comfortable and we become a cyclist, we also need to make sure that the second element of the cycling comfort is taken care of. That means the bike setup. This is extremely important, because if you go back on your bike and if you feel that the dynamics are not working for you, then an old pain on the knee or on the foot comes out, then again next time you go on the bike it's going to be again painful, and on with a bit of catch-22 that is not going to make you feel happy going back on the bike. It worked really well for me, making sure that the bike fits me properly. Fine adjustments you can do on your own, or definitely by all means getting the help of a professional bike fitter, but small changes make a lot of difference, to the point that maybe you might need to work a little bit harder, but when you go back on the bike you need to feel at home. And this works for me really well. Sometimes after a long day of work, few problems that happened, then I look outside, it's cold, it might be raining, then I do have an hour riding and I feel myself a bit deflated. Put my kit on. The moment I actually go on the bike and cycle, something happens. I feel at home, I start riding, smile comes back again, and on I go. And as soon as you do your first few meters, something magic happens. That it is the uniqueness of the cycling for me, because you feel so at home with the bike, muscle memory works again, and that would be perfect for the long-term riding and cycling. Good comfort clothing, good setup, that will really help in cycling a lot more, and that will help the long-term bike relationship. And another element that is really powerful for me is the pursuit of the technique when you ride. When I ride, then I always want to try to improve my technique on the bike. As is, I'm standing on the pedals, trying to find the perfect balance, moving forward, backward, the perfect cadence, the angle with the knees. I always want to improve a little bit on each ride. And that is some sort of mindset that you can employ on every ride, to look at yourself with a critical approach. Yes, it's a commute, it's a normal ride, it's a training ride. Maybe you've been riding 20 years, there's always something to learn. So you go on the bike and you start, yes, riding, making sure that you pay attention to the traffic, at the same time trying to see whether there's a little bit of improvement that can still be drawn to your cycling to make it smoother. Maybe attack one of the hills with a different cadence, standing up on the pedal, sitting down, something that you can change and improve yourself from a technical point of view. And also, yes, the training rides, the longer rides gives you this opportunity a lot more than the commute riding, but checking your results on Strava. So Strava can be used not only to check the daily timings and be upset if you are not top of your segments, but that can be used to see your progress, to see whether any improvement in nutrition or training is making any difference in the times. I don't have a power meter yet, so the only way for me to assess my performance is on the times. And on the longer rides you can check your results, you can compare yourself, or build a community of other riders where you can exchange tips or best practices. That really helps in motivating yourself to ride more, and the whole process is more and more enjoyable if you are sharing this information with others. These are my top picks, things that I try to realize in my head what worked for me going out and ride. I have to confess, I still crazy about riding the bicycle. It feels like a second nature, to the point that when I was away for a week, I got back, first thing I've done, jumped on a bike and I had to ride. So for me, talking about motivation, yes, is in a way kind of strange, and but all these points, they do really work for me. I wonder what will happen moving along with the years, if I'm going to feel the same or not, but I hope that that kind of fire and passion for the bike will never go down. Let me know in the comments your experience or what you do use to motivate yourself. I would love to hear. As usual, thanks a lot for your subscription. That really means a lot for me. If you like the video, of course, put a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, let me know why. And lastly, sometimes when you comment and you add some links, I won't be able to reply to them because YouTube cuts out most of the comments with a link. Thanks again for watching. See you to the next video. Ciao.